a thought was occurring to me there about decommissioning, because I know assets are starting to be decommissioned in the North Sea, and it's always a very difficult decision. But it's also a huge liability, I guess, sitting on the balance sheets of these oil companies. And so if, I guess, the end of field life decision has to take into account the cost of decommissioning, presumably.
Yep.
And
Yep.
and that cost is, well, it's kind of a fixed cost, but it doesn't really change with the oil price.
No, exactly right.
The only hope you can have is that the costs come down pretty rapidly as folks get slick at it. But it's a one-way street. The infrastructure's gone at that point. And
that's right. And I think, I think, certainly in the UK sector, there's been some work which has been done very well. The plug and abandon kind of work that's been going on for a significant amount of time to, plug and abandon all the wells which have ever been drilled in the North Sea is a good thing. You can contrast that with other areas, even other areas in first world countries where they actually don't know where all their wells are, which is quite scary. So some of that is being done well. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I think understanding where the liabilities are, that's going to be a very big challenge, and whether the new operators are on the hook for the liabilities, or the initial operators are on the hook for the liabilities. And that's not something I'm particularly conversant with.
It's a tough play, because surely the government at some point is going to be interested, because it has a direct impact on jobs in the area. I guess this is, and obviously we're talking very speculatively here, but I can imagine that it's not just an economic decision in terms of the oil, when you're talking about a whole industry disappearing potentially in areas. Governments get quite interested at that point.
Yes, I'm surprised there's not more interest in it now, and haven't been more interested before. And I think, there possibly was a missed opportunity maybe 10 years back to do a little bit more around what the Norwegians have done, and really try and push the recovery factors and say you can't do this until you've got to this point. I think it is, again, different with oil and gas. Oil, it's a much bigger issue. The gas infrastructure tends to be such that you can go to very, very low rates and still be viable if you do it right. And the infrastructure is not as difficult, not as big, not as dirty, etc., etc. So